Okay, hello. My name is Thick Baloney, and this is my first YouTube channel video. This channel is going to be about accountability for the most part, holding me accountable for having a positive attitude, and all around just enjoying my hobby of writing, a little bit of sketch drawing. Haven't really gotten to the level of drawing, and drinking tea. Today, I'll be drinking out of a Care Bears mug. This is my girlfriend's. And I got 2 packs of chamomile and some butterfly pea flower tea in there as well. So I'm letting that steep. So let's get into it. Today is Thursday, 5/14/26, 7:12 p.m. The current time of me making this. So last time I was writing, I noticed something about me. And the thing that I realized is that, one, I'm in debt, unfortunately. But it happens, and that's okay. As long as I'm working towards solving that. The next thing I realized was some of the downgrading that I was going to need to do with my life. So that'll be less eating out, of course, and beer. I like a good beer. Oh, and entertainment. And the second part here was something that I think for some people can be kind of shocking when it comes to having to make some life changes in order for you to be able to get back in that comfortable position again. I used to be very, very strict about money. I didn't want to spend it. I was calculating it all the time, and that became very stressful for me. But then I got reckless with it. With I guess for fun, because of fun, I took trips that was making me like it was stretching my money thin, but it was worth it. And you buying, I guess it wasn't really, it just really was fast food. That was something that really got to me, because I've in the whole thing that this was surrounded by, this part here was because I wanted to make the most out of my weekends. I wanted to make the most out of my weekends. I wanted them to make it fun. And in the end, that was something that was hurting me. And I just wanted to keep it going for the most part. I wanted the fun to never end. And it would cause this urge in me to go out and buy fast food. Oh, this will be the last time I eat fast food for a little bit because I'm gonna have to start eating chicken and rice. Oh, this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna be buying beer because, I gotta get used to drinking water with flavoring in it. And I just had a very negative outlook when I was getting away from. Is it an A? I'm just gonna say bad look on a new lifestyle. I had a bad look on a new lifestyle. And that was not helping me either. So yesterday I had this new idea. Um, let's say a positive outlook on a new lifestyle. And what this pretty much was is instead of of it as something hard, it wasn't something. Thinking of it as something is like, oh, it's gonna be hard, and I'm essentially not living. Like what kind of life is that to just, you know, eat the same thing day in and day out? But then I realized that there were some areas where I was lacking, and some of those areas was, I would say, um I didn't I didn't know how to grocery shop. I didn't know how to do that. And that might seem weird, but like, when you eat so much fast food, a lot of the times just you don't even what you want is all there. The onions, the pickles, the ketchup, the mayo, the patties, the buns. It makes the burger you want. So I didn't know what I liked from the grocery store, what I would like to have in my house. And, I kind of came around to it. I figured out what food I liked. And I'd say that's a positive. Finding out what I like. We'll put this in caps. Finding out what I like. Well, I'm getting to know myself a little bit better this way. Figuring out what I like to actually eat, like from a store. Not just from fast food, that's really easy, Got to a point where I was liking entire menus. I'm not that picky of an eater, so that was also a positive when it came to getting comfortable with the grocery store. I didn't know how to get food from a store. I really didn't know how to grocery shop. And the other thing that I lacked in is I didn't know how to snack. I guess that kind of goes in the same category. But guess what? Finding out what I like. And so I'm figuring out what snacks I like. So what this came down to, I would say, is I like trail mix. So I get trail mix. Chicken and rice isn't a problem for me. Chicken and rice isn't really a problem for me. I'm not really like I say I don't like breakfast, but I do like breakfast. What do I like for breakfast? I don't like a crazy breakfast, so just protein. Protein bars and powder. And to also not get coffee from the coffee shop, just figuring out what I like. I don't really like coffee. I'm more of an espresso guy. I know that's a little weird, so just, we have an espresso machine. I don't know how to work that at all. It's confusing. So just instant. I think that's how you spell it. I'm not sure. I think it's an A. Yeah, instant espresso. Yeah, instant espresso. Boom, right there. I got a snack, I got a dinner, I got a breakfast, and I got something for a little bit of energy. Water can get boring, so I go ahead and I get Mio. Mio's great. Orange vanilla. It's the best flavor, in my opinion. It's an awesome flavor. And then after figuring out what other snacks I like simple things to make, something quick and easy. So P, oh no, hold on, P, B, and J's. I don't really like buying bread. I rather make my own bread. So I put it on like a flavored rice cracker. And to make it even more fun for the chicken and rice, sauce. I'm pretty sure that's a C. That's a C. Sauce for the rice crackers. You know, and within this flow of things that I like, this positive lifestyle, this is very simple. It's very simple. I know that things can get expensive. Like right now, for me, instead of getting a big package of chicken, I'm going to be getting smaller packages of chicken, which means that I can look forward to a protein shake not only in the morning, but also at night. Um, you know, and peanut butter will always be there, and, instead of fancy 3 different packs of rice crackers, just get one, and all of this is relatively healthy. You gotta watch out for the salsas and the sodium within them. But all of this is healthy. This is healthy. This is how you get healthy. I started eating like this, and I used to weigh, at the time before doing this, I used to weigh 230 pounds. And I've lost 30 pounds just by eating this consistently. And they all connect with each other. You got something sweet, your trail mix and your peanut butter and jelly. You can also get syrups for your espresso as well, or just regular sugar. Regular sugar is cheap. I know it's not the greatest thing for you, but or you can put it into your protein powder. Oh yeah, I also get milk. Milk is getting to be one of those things where I'm like, wow, I'm buying milk a lot. I might as well just use water for the protein powder. Not as fun, but it definitely gets the powder espresso and the protein powder to work perfectly fine. I got my sweet things. Water doesn't get boring because of the Mio. I can have an adventure with the sauces that I buy for my chicken and rice. And you also have to have your veggies. Gotta have your veggies. This right here is simple, but what also is really great about something like this is that it was making me get out more. I felt like an adult. It felt good. And it's different. It's completely different. I noticed that when you spend more money at the grocery store, which like everything is expensive right now, but when you spend more money at the grocery store, you feel less guilty about it than when you go out to eat. Because for me, what was getting at me, and this is a positive right here, I felt less guilt about where my money was going. There's no guilt in eating food. Guilt is not an ingredient in food, but everything in moderation. But I felt less money. I felt, well, yeah, I'm spending it, but less guilt about where the money at. You know, I felt less guilt about it. That's huge. That's so huge. That's so huge. Like there's all these negatives that were happening before, and now there's like less negatives. And hey, I can enjoy a frozen pizza for $8. That if I eat it within moderation, that's three slices a day. That's 3 meals within a day, and that's going to keep you full. Or I can completely gorge myself if I really want to have fun. If I have that money for the 6 pack of beers that I want, or 12 pack of beers that I want, I'll eat an entire thing of frozen pizza, because you got to understand, for a week straight, it's chicken and rice with some sort of sauce, protein bars, and espresso. This can get tired, and so you gotta when you go grocery shopping, exactly, where you less guilt about where the money's going, because it's like, hey, instead of getting like a 7 pound bag of rice this time, which costs me X amount of dollars, maybe I'll get a smaller bag of rice this time, and get it like a pint of ice cream, and you're just gonna cut back on your rice, which is less carbs, and but you got the ice cream, so kind of balances out where you see fit. When you go to the grocery store, things balance out a little bit better. You got to be careful with your potato chips. I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm a potato chip kind of guy. I will completely demolish a bag of potato chips. I'm a guy who loves his junk food. I honestly prefer some fast food places. Like, I'm a huge Burger King fan. I prefer Burger King over going to restaurants sometimes. So yeah, this, the positive outlook of a new lifestyle is, the main premise about it is simple. And with a simple lifestyle, and when you say it's simple, you're keeping it that way. You're not getting out of line from things. You don't feel like you're missing it out. You're keeping it simple, food is easier and actually more accessible to come by. You're spending less gas on it. Your emotions, oops, don't control you. And your pocket will tend to thank you a little bit more, because this whole idea of a dollar menu is something that doesn't really exist anymore. It's like, oh, I'll be able to feed the whole family with $5. And now the tables are turned. Like, yes, groceries are expensive. You're gonna spend $100 to $200 on groceries, but the longevity of it is way different. You go to spend $100 to $200 on some fast food, you're gonna you're gonna gorge it, because your sugar levels are gonna be high. And it's just not healthy for you. So your pocket and gut will thank you. And with with this, you like, if especially if you're a renter, um, you have to learn to enjoy your house. Like you're spending a lot of money on it. So so now that you're not really all that able to go out and do things, like you can really lock in on your home. I was going out and I was having fun with friends and family and having my own personal fun, staying out late and all these things, and every time I came home the house just felt like it wasn't something of mine. It felt like there just was so much work to do. Everything was getting backed up. I was not looking forward to it. But then I was at home enough to like actually do something about it, you know? So it's you'll be able to work on your environment, your home, put up those posters with some tax. I wanted frames for all my posters. I love my posters, but they're awkward shaped. I don't like really buying things from Amazon, and it was a lot. There's a lot of variables on it, but so I just put them up with tax, and honestly, it gives more character for it. This whole like Pinterest look of things and comparing your aesthetic to other things, like within the stuff that you have is your very own aesthetic. Sometimes you have to look in to find yourself, because if you look too far out, you're gonna miss where you're at. Don't really know if that makes sense, but my point is working on your environment will make yourself comfortable. So, you know, working with what you have, ooh, oh my goodness. Work with what you got to make a comfortable environment. Work with what you got to make a comfy space. Is this tea ready? Pinky test. Oh, it's not ready. It's not ready. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. Care Bears are taking care of the tea. Yeah, so food is easier to get because you went out to the grocery store and you bought what you needed for the house. It'll last you longer. You aren't going out getting overstimulated or stimulated or influenced or taken advantage of, or any external things outside of you. Peer pressured, that's a big thing for people in their 20s like myself. External things aren't going to control you as much because you're going within. You're keeping things simple. You're going to the grocery store and you're chilling at home, dealing with home at what you got, taking care of things at home with what you got. And in that way, you'll be able to pay your bills, and then things will come back around. And your pocket and your gut will thank you once you lock in on foods that you like to get from the grocery store. And there's plenty of exploration that can be done at the grocery store. And these two things pretty much go together, but essentially they are for somebody who sees as food as an emotional positive thing through junk food or eating out. The dopamine's gonna hit you when you go out to this place and that place, and you come home, you take your food home, and you watch a video online as you're eating, and then boom, video's not even over and you finished everything. Oh, I'm buying more food. This is what I was doing. So I get it. I get it. It's tough. But yeah, then your pocket and your gut will help you. Sometimes cheaper things at the grocery store will surprise you. The name brand stuff, you know. Do your research and read the back of the labels as much as you want to. Alright. And then working with what you got to make your space comfortable. You know, if you come across a piece of paper, draw something, sketch something, make something without even thinking about it when you're drawing, and just put it on the wall. Make a space for you. I mean, check me out. This tote literally holds my dirty laundry in it. No, out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I will admit I do sometimes forget, but at the same time, it makes the room look nicer, you know? I like sitting over here having my either natural light, my lamp light, or whenever, you know, my girlfriend, soon to be fiance, um, is sleeping, I use my little light right here. And I like having my tea. I'll have like my books, my journal, email, what have you, over here, and just figure myself out. You know, I do have a goal to get a desk, because I can't tell you how many times my legs fall asleep, and it drives me crazy. But yeah, this is the simplicity of it, you know, because you're going to the store, and that way you can explore in a more controlled environment. I know there's advertising in grocery store, but it allows you to really like feel as if this is it, you know. It's like it's all one thing when you're getting store brand bought stuff, store brand stuff, or like this is just what it is in the grocery store, you know. It's not like, okay, there's like super Targets and Walmarts, you know. You could do your grocery shopping there, but then when you start to divvy away, you know, you end up getting a new pair of sunglasses, or you buy a cheap watch, or you're buying candy like crazy. A lot easier to avoid the candy aisle in a grocery store, um, than you think. Once you realize what you like, you know. Occasionally I'll buy Twizzlers, but man, look, I'm in my 20s, you know. Candy, I kind of have to cut back on it. There's, you know, it's health. You know, this takes care of your mind and your gut and your finances. It's not about focusing on what you don't have. It's, I can't remember which it is with the apostrophe or not. I'm just gonna leave it right there. It's about having gratitude and being grateful for what you do have. And I was a guy who struggled with gratitude for a long time. I didn't understand what gratitude was. But it wasn't until I came across this simple lifestyle here, um, to figure out what food from store. Felt like I needed to add that in. But yeah, I didn't understand what gratitude was until I was like, you know, I mean, like I was always grateful. Like I was grateful about a lot of things, but like actually having gratitude, like, dude, I'm so lucky to have this was something that came in like pretty late. You know, I'm 26. Maybe the frontal lobe needed to connect in order for that to happen. But yeah, food is easy to get to. Food from a store. Um, Emotions don't control you. Uh, when you're doing mindful eating, mindful eats. You know, your pocket and your gut will will love you. Honestly, saving. You know, you work with what you got to make a comfy space. You know, in when you're at home, you're able to work on those little tasks that you have in your mind that will pile up every now and then. You're able to get those done, and you feel so much more accomplished. I feel like in this world today, there's so much going on. There's so much going on, and it can be very overwhelming, and things are complicated. There's so much that goes on in the mind, there's so much that goes on in the world. Where do you even start? And it all starts with you keeping a positive mindset. And I've always wished that I had somebody there. I do appreciate the few that have said this, but everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. Just stay positive. Keep those thoughts, protect your thoughts. It's a quote from Marcus Aurelius. You gotta protect your thoughts. You gotta know that you're not your mind all the time. You know, with the whole comparing thing. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. You know, you're not just a negative energy. You're also a positive energy. There's a balance. And you gotta find it. But I'd say that whenever you're feeling low, work on something that brings you joy. A little hobby, a little bit of drawing. You know, a pen and paper is more. It's like one of the most patient things. Let your mind out on the paper. Even if it's not even writing anything, crumple up the paper. Uncrumple it. Crumple it up again. You know? Then write on it. You know? Put it underwater. See what happens. Bake something. Make something. You know? Or even do like a simple meditation. And check in with yourself. Are you getting enough sleep? So I would say getting good sleep. Getting good sleep. You can have your social media, just have a bedtime, you know? A moment where you're able to depressed and not be so pressed about things. Your phone can do that to you, you know? Watch something calm before bed. Watch something calm. Doesn't have to be something like ASMR 100%, but you know, watch something calm. You know, allow yourself to relax. You are 100% okay to relax. You know, breathe. You know, have this moment for you. So yeah, let's take it. Let's take a. I think the tea is ready. Is the camera showing? It's very blue. It's very blue. Here, for funds. Let's just see what happens. Oh, here I'll just do that. Whoa, it's like ink. Ooh. See, I want to fill in the rest of this paper, but I don't really know what to write, so I'm just being silly now. And that'll forever be on the page. And guess what? It's gonna dry if I leave this open. It'll be fine. But yeah, cheers. Hmm. 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 Me personally, I can't wait until the chamomile kicks in. But yeah, that'll do it for this video today. I'll be probably drawing tomorrow. Maybe even writing about the day. Again, this is all about holding me accountable to this simple lifestyle. I'm working on getting out of debt. I'm working on having healthier eating habits. Even though I already do this, some days are better than others. You know, too many rice cakes or too much. Too much. What else do I have on here? Too much milk and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know, too much. You know, so just dialing it in. Really listening to the hunger cues. But yeah, excuse me. It's all about accountability. This is going to be something chill, something calm, something that I personally also like watching on YouTube myself. But yeah, until then, remember. What do I say here? Remember to stay hydrated.